Burning truth. I know many of you have welcomed in this new year wanting to start everything off fresh, to shift the atmosphere in your homes. Some say remove negative and evil spirits. And then you want to lean towards burning sage to accomplish your goal. This practice that some have deemed as a spiritual ritual to drive out negative and unclean spirits is not what it seems. What I want to give clarity to you on this morning is that every spiritual ritual is not godly. Demons and Satan are also of the spirit realm. 1 John 4:1 reads, "Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God." Now, you all know my favorite saying is, "An inconsistent truth is a lie." And a lie can't be of God because God can't lie and he detests lying. So let's put sage burning to the spiritual test. First and foremost, one of the 10 commandments is that we are to have no other gods before him. The moment you put your faith in anyone or anything to align or realign your life, you have made it your God. Sage burning is essentially saying that God does not have the power or the ability to shift the atmosphere. So you need to buy and burn something to do what God can't do. James 2:19 tells us, with just the sound of the name Jesus, demons tremble. The Word of God tells us to not become conformed to the ways of this world. In other words, don't follow the trends. They will lead you away from the promises of God. Sage burning is nowhere in the Bible. As a matter of fact, it would be spiritually classified as a strange incense. And in Isaiah 1:13, it reads, "Bring no more futile sacrifices. Incense is an abomination to me." As believers, when we see the popularity of something building, those are the things we should be particularly discerning about. Because the things Satan offers always seems to draw a crowd and go viral. If you want to shift the atmosphere in your home, start afresh this new year. Drive out clean spirits and negative spirits. Begin to make it a practice to exalt prayer and worship in your home. Set some standards. No meal eaten without grace. Eliminate foul language from plaguing the atmosphere. Shut down activities and habits you know are not pleasing to God. Sage burning gives us a false hope as we believe we are driving out negativity and unclean spirits, when in actuality, you're nurturing and multiplying demonic spirits in your home. The sage burning may run them into corners temporarily, but rest assured nothing, and I mean nothing, can drive out unclean spirits but God. This false sense of hope also pacifies our flesh, allowing us to keep doing things our way, engaging in activities and practices that are against the will and the ways of God. We tend to fall into the mindset of putting God on a shelf and taking him off when we need him. In all actuality, we don't want God in our business. We want him to sit still until we call on him. But then we wonder why our atmosphere keeps being plagued with demonic and negative spirits. The gift of freedom that God has extended to us gives us complete access to do things our way. But what God's desire is that we seek to love him enough to trust him to do things his way. And when we choose our way over his way, God can't and won't bless it. We tend to always want to find an alternative to submitting to God completely, while continuing to live our lives outside of the will and the mandate of God. What we need to embrace and understand is that every sin, every ungodly indulgence that carries us outside of the will of God brings in a demonic spirit. And when we seek other mediums to shield us from Satan, we actually block the Spirit of God from coming in. See, because the Spirit of God will not dwell where it is not welcomed, and it will not share a space with anything else. God can't and won't be our side piece. And when we choose other things, when we should be calling out to Him to impact our lives, you're actually asking Him, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, to step back and play the role of the side piece. This morning I pose this question to you. Who is God in your life? Can your God do all things? Does demons tremble at the mention of your God? The decision is always yours. God's way or walk in the deception of Satan. It's either one or the other. You cannot have both. Remember, when you start your day with truth, blessings throughout the remainder of the day is inevitable.